Merry Meetle! Finally! Oops! Getting around to doing a flip through of this book. Knits from Northern Lands by Jenny Fennell. I was meaning to do it a couple of weekends ago when I loaded up the wilderness knits for the home, but it's just crazy. Life just gets so crazy. Oh gosh, tipping my tea. It's only chamomile anyway. The wood will thank me for it. Yeah, it's when you have animals, and it's just life. If you have children, no, this would be no different. it just happens, and then you get taken off on a whirlwind, and then the dust settles. Like, oh, where was I? What was I doing? Yeah. Anyway, enough rabbiting. So finally, now I don't really need to bookmark. I'll remove my bookmarks. I definitely have some projects I want to start in this book. Basically, I've kind of casted on a few projects from different books at the same time, and I like the rotary nature of doing a bit of work on this one and doing a bit of work on that one. I'm really enjoying doing colorwork, knitting it. Crocheting colorwork for me is a little bit finicky, especially when you got a larger garn or a larger hook. But I really love the textures. So, but enough from that. I'll show a little bit of colorwork I've been doing from wilderness knits, not for the home, but actual wilderness knits, which I'll do a book review of next. So anyway, without further ado, this is a beautiful book. It is not hardcover. It's just smaller than A4, and it's a beautiful soft winter landscape in pretty much in all the shots. Beautiful shots. The papers are soft, matte, but bright white, or a grey white, I should say, a cool white, not a warm white, which is a nice contrast to the creamy snow. And there's, just beautiful. So these are the patterns. Again, I'm going to just show the actual finished projects. I'm not going to show the instructions or the pattern themselves. I'm just going to remove the wilderness knits. Yeah, hang on, which is underneath. I'm going to be doing this one next. I finally got it delivered. That's better. It's getting a little bit odd, especially with one hand. So this is Jenny Fennell, and she's in Nova Scotia, and she lives in the countryside. Musterboit. She's middle Mustervoit. Sounds French. That's one of the jumpers she's got, which is at the back in white. I really like it in white though. Is it the same one? I think it is, because I recognise the panelling. But just beautiful photography of just a landscape. Just, countryside. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. It's nice having soft matte pages. The gloss sometimes is a bit... The other thing with gloss is the reflection of light can be a bit of a extra thing that one doesn't really want with her weave. So just nice coffee table book. Alright, didn't want to show, well, I was not really showing all of it. So this is a wrapped in rib scarf. She's got knitted garments have always been a traditional way of staying warm in the Celtic, Scandinavian and Icelandic regions. Over time, knitters of the northern lands perfected certain stitches to provide more warmth. The rib stitch acts as a double layer of protection against the cold. With a beginner knitter in mind, the rib scarf is perfect for a starting point in your northern knitting journey. I agree. One thing I will say though, when you knit in a rib, it goes through a lot of garn, and it takes a lot longer. I remember one turban I made which was in rib. Oh my goodness, it just felt like it never ended, knitting in rib. but definitely worth it. Now, I don't really have the garn I want to do this, and I'm thinking of going completely white. Just having a simple white scarf, wrister and beanie set, to me, I think it's a staple that I don't understand why I don't have that yet. I haven't made that yet. Been waiting for this book, probably. I'm definitely going to crack at that. So I've got this wool. It's actually a pure wool, and basically it's calling for a super chunky garn. And as you can see, this is just a DK weight. I literally would have to hold 2 or 3 strands of this together. So I don't think it's going to be financially good to do that. And I think it's going to be a bit strandy. So I'd prefer to probably get a garn which is probably even half-half, like half wool, half acrylic or polyester, and a chunky garn. So when I get around to the store again, the garn store, I'm going to have a bit of a peruse, take my book with me. I do have a set of arm warmers, which are pretty much in the perfect yarn that I'd use for this. So I'll take, one of those with me and have a bit of a look and see what I come up with. But definitely am going to be doing this wrapped in rib. It is a 2 purl 2 knit rib, and that's it unbundled around the neck. Now she's got the same version in a hat, so she's got the same thing here. The rib stitch has traditionally been used to make such items as scarves, hats and jumpers. This type of hat would be a staple piece of a fisherman's wardrobe. Using the rib stitch in the same way that knitters of the past would do to give their loved ones who were heading out to sea, the seamless hat pattern is a simple quick knit that you can certainly appreciate on a cold day. I don't know, I might even try doing it in bright orange. I do have bright orange wool, but again I'd have to hold 3 strands together to get a super chunky garn. So if we have a look here, it is a super chunky garn, and how it folds like that. It's just not going to work if you just do acrylic with this one, holding a few strands together. That is, you need the strands sort of to melt. So there's the hat. I'm going to show the instructions. There's just a bit of trees underneath the instructions. So just a simple hat. It's knitted in the round on circular needles with a change to DPNs or double points at the top, which so it stops it from being over the top in width at the top there. And again, I'm thinking white, but you never know, might end up going different colour altogether. We'll see. So here are the wristers, and you can see closely here just how thick the garn is in comparison to her fingers. So it truly is I do have a garn that is exactly this thickness. Yeah, I'm always covered in cuts and scrapes. But it's bright yellow, and it would be enough for the beanie and wristers, but not a scarf as well. And I don't know if I've already got a beanie in that bright yellow. I use it every now and again, but yeah, no. Anyway, different garn. So it's the wristers again. And she's got a tip, like a bit of instructions in how to do a mattress stitch seaming. And she's got the set on. Beanie, scarf, and wristers. Who knows, I might even go for the same taupe or mushroom colour. But again, I don't know, for me, personally, especially with my age, I just feel like I just need light and brightness around me. I really don't know why. So this is the Dream in Danish throw cushion, and I'll read the excerpt. When knitting first took hold in Scandinavia, families in Denmark would generally have a jumper piece for each member. Back then, throwaway culture was unheard of. The zero-waste lifestyle was every day. Once a family member had outgrown a jumper, it would be passed down. When it became too worn out to wear, it was fashioned into a cushion, covers, or blankets. This simple net and purl piece is so easy that you'll want to craft one for each of your own family members. So she's sort of, it's a bit like, yeah, anyway. I don't know. I won't be rushing to do this project, but no, I'm not saying I'm not going to do it. A nice scenery again. It's a throw cushion again. I'd probably end up doing different colours or the same colour in 2 different tones, if you know what I mean, for a bit of contrast, because I like to see some of the details. I don't like the details to be hidden, if you like. The Lace of Unst, Bookmark. And I'll read the excerpt. The Shetland Islands are a cluster of about 100 islands between Scotland and Norway, some with knitting traditions specific to each island. Fair Isle to the south is known for intricate colourwork knitting, while the northern Isle of Unst is known for fine lacework. This quick knit bookmark acts as a perfect practice for lace knitting. Yeah. That's the thing about little projects like this. If you want to practice a new skill, you know, like here, lacework or colour work or something like a headband, or, you know, little project like this, it's quick to do, is a really good way to practice that skill and get your tension right as well. And if you have to unpick her, it's not so much of a, you know, she's got the same super chunky garn on again. It's not the, you know, and if you have to unpick it, it's only a little item. Do you know what I mean? And I'll highlight that point later on when I show a couple of the headbands I've done. So this is the Mhor Cowl. This is just gorgeous. I just love the chunkiness. I do like the colour as well. This is very similar to the colour of my eyes. It's a like glassy green. Mhor. I'll read the excerpt. Knots, spirals, plaits and braids were used in Celtic culture as early as 4th century. Knots are made up of loops that have no start or finish, representing eternity. Love knots, on which the cable in this pattern is based, were exchanged by couples just as rings are today. This pattern is great if you are new to cable work and will work up quickly, giving you the practice and confidence to tackle larger cable work pieces. Definitely will be doing this one. Definitely. I just love the cables. I still haven't done cables, and since it's supposed to be a good beginner project, let's do it. Definitely will be one I'll be doing. Okay, the Leaves of Birch blanket. I actually don't mind this, and it does remind me of the birch leaves. So let's have a read of the excerpt. Inspired by old Scottish lore that tells tales of mothers hanging birch leaves over their children's beds at night to prevent nightmares and visits from mischievous fairies while they slept, this beautiful blanket is slightly easier to craft than some of the featured projects, yet the slip stitch technique leads to a beautiful detail to what will become a treasured piece. That is gorgeous though. Don't mind that, but I don't know. Green? I know the birch leaves are green, you know, but I don't know. I get when I think of the birch tree, I always think of the bark, the beautiful white bark. Even, I don't know, doing 2 colours? No, I don't know. We'll see. Or even, I mean, if you look closely, this is a variegated garn. It's not in one tone, so that helps. It is pretty. I do like this. Be a nice throw for a armchair, or for your child if you're a child. And there's a birch tree, obviously in winter, all naked, waiting for spring, as we all do. Closer detail of the lace. So I love this cushion, definitely on my hit list. Skies of Sweden throw cushion. It's just beautiful, isn't it? I'll read the excerpt. In the northern regions of Sweden, there is a considerable amount of snowfall during the winter months, and with over half of Sweden covered over in forest, snow is often seen glistening on the tops of spruce and pine trees. With only 2 strands of colour, this snow-covered scene is an easy place to start your colour work practice, and perhaps you have a longing to see the sparkling treetops for yourself. But they are beautiful. I just love this. I like this pattern not just for a throw pillow. Like, I'd be tempted to do other things with it too. Just the trees alone, you know what I mean? Very nice. Definitely on my list. And yeah, white and off-white, sorry, and a burgundy or red there. I don't know what colourway I'd use, but definitely on my list. More beautiful countryside. The cushion, that throw pillow is, or cushion is also done in the round, worked in the round. I don't want to show the actual patterns, the grids. And ta-da, this will be my first project in this book, the Flowers of Finland headband. Isn't that just gorgeous? And it's double-sided. I believe it's double-sided. I'll have a better look. I'll read the excerpt. Finland is known for its intricate and bold colourwork knitting. This pattern maintains the Finnish tradition by using a bold blue to showcase Finland's national colours, as well as a national flower, lily of the valley. Worked in the round, this two-stranded colourwork piece will add extra warmth with a stunning pop of colour. This is the other thing, headbands working with two strands, like colourwork-wise, that it really does make it cushy and extra warm, and it also makes it stay on your noggin better as well. Even if it's not a stretch, snug fit, it will still stay on there because there's more for your head to sort of like grab onto, if you like. I'm just going to lean over. There you go. So I'm actually going to use, for this, these two colours, and they're DK. So this is electric and this is white, and the garn's from Spotlight here in Australia. It's just a DK acrylic, but definitely she's got this in two colours. So this is one way. I just go, and here's the other. So this reminds me of fleur de lis. You see the fleur de lis? Try and get it. There you go. Upside down in this the way I'm holding it, but you get the idea. So it's in two ways, and yeah, it is in doubles. It's knitted like a tube, and this is quite beautiful too. This is white heather shawl. Now this has got tiny little buds in between as well. Alright, let's read the excerpt. This gorgeous shawl is inspired by a Celtic tale of Malvina, who was to marry her true love until he was slain in battle. As her tears fell upon the heather on the moor she walked through, the purple heather began to turn an enchanting white. As she watched the change, she wished this white heather would bring love to whomever came across it. With lacework and baubles, this shawl is a romantic piece you can drape over your shoulders while thinking about your loved ones. Aww. I like the little stories and excerpts with each of the patterns too. It's quite, if you're someone who is of this ethnos, you're basically from Europe, and you got strong blood ties to the north, Ireland, Scotland, if further up north, of course, we've got the Scandinavian, Nordic countries, including Norway. I think this is a beautiful thing the pieces in here are quite beautiful to make as a sort of a ritual and connecting to the old stories and old ways and having that with you. We get pushed and pulled so much in life, and people come and go, but blood is blood, isn't it? So having these stories with you I think it's quite sweet. So this is Fire and Ice Icelandic Cowl. There's obviously Mittens as well. I'll read the excerpt. This is quite nice too. This is a chunky one. Was it chunky? No, it's just a wool. Crafted with thick Icelandic sheep's wool, this cowl will satisfy your need for a quick knit while practicing colourwork on a slightly larger scale. Inspired by Iceland, the land of fire and ice, the cowl uses traditional geometric techniques to depict the volcanic landscape as well as the snow crystals falling from the sky. Oh, it's nice. I like these little stories. Quite waterful. Look at that. Oh. And here are the mittens. I'll read the excerpt. As a second piece in this matching Icelandic set, these mittens are worked with the same thick wool, the fibre for which the Iceland has become known as... The fibre for which Iceland has become known as the cowl. As a cowl. That sounded weird. Should have put as a cowl, not as the cowl, because that doesn't make sense. Sorry, me nerding out. This pattern will introduce you to thumb gussets and the decreases needed to craft the perfect pointed tip on your Icelandic mitts. So this, I guess, this would be a good project to do for beginning a mitten. So if you've never done a mitten before, I haven't done a mitten. I've done wristers and gloves, but I haven't done a mitten before. So I definitely think I'll do this one, since it's a thicker garn as well. It's supposed to knit quickly. That's the image of the set. Obviously not showing the actual instructions or the patterns. Beautiful. Just having this on your coffee table. And this is the other one I'm definitely going to do, but I don't think I'm just going to do the wristers. I think this is just gorgeous. This is a slow day in Shetland wrist warmers. I'll read the excerpt. Made with wool from the Shetland Islands, this pattern was designed with colorwork lovers in mind. The simple tube design with no additional features makes for a relaxing knit, as you only need to focus on the colorwork. These earth-toned wrist warmers will make it easy to imagine picking berries in a field while the Celtic winds blow around you. Just beautiful. I just love, I'll try not to get the actual pattern. That's just beautiful, isn't it? Wouldn't that be nice? Even just, I was even thinking leg warmers, just even a pillow. I love the branches going across. You know, even replicating some parts of just playing with it anyway. Definitely on my list. Okay, another pair of mittens. This is an ode to Marit Selbu mittens. And for those who don't know, let me get into the excerpt. In 1857, Marit, in Unst of Selbu, Norway, did something out of the ordinary. Using 2 different colours of fibre, she created a detailed rose design on mittens knitted for her and her sisters to wear to church. This new way of knitting earned Marit the title the mother of 2-colour knitting. This pattern was designed with the simplicity in mind, while staying true to the traditional aspects of Selbu mittens. Intricate colourwork showcases the Selbu rose, the unique thumb gusset and sidebands. So I definitely have these on my mind. Mittens are so handy, not when you're trying to do work as such for me. Gardening, yeah, no. But if I'm walking one of my ducks in the pram down to, you know, the gardens, then I like to have gloves on because my hands are exposed, you know what I mean? And if it's cold as well, how cool will a pair of mittens be pushing the duckmobile? I didn't know about Marit Selbu until a while ago, and I'm glad it's in this book because I don't think a lot of people are aware of this, including people who have Nordic ancestry or Celtic ancestry. And we've been pushed around so much that a lot of us are so disconnected. We've lost touch with a lot of where things started and came about in the way we do things in our culture, which is unique to our ethnos overall, even though we have lots of different tribes within it. But, anyway, I'm glad it's in here. So if you didn't know, this is actually what you see a lot of in Nordic patterns is actually Selbu. So it's actually a technique of Selbu where you're just using two fibre strands to do colour work. Beautiful. Beautiful. Really nice clear grids, by the way, for doing your pattern work, the way she's got them. These are Comforting Cables Fingerless mitts. I'll read the excerpt. I love the honeycomb sort of look. Using the cable work and seaming techniques previously covered in the book, these fingerless mitts represent a further step into detailed cabling. This is a small enough piece that you can tackle quite quickly while practicing as you knit. So for those out there who are just crocheting or scared of getting into cables or been putting it off, or lace work or color work, there's the projects in here. There's some simple projects in here that you can practice, and I definitely, another reason why I'm a very big fan of this book. And that's the wrist is here again. And there, you know, once you get something like this done, then looking at doing a jumper isn't so like, oh my god. Or a throw isn't as, oh my god, you know what I mean? So I'll read the excerpt. This is In the Company of Cable's Blanket. No knitter's home would be complete without a handcrafted blanket. Often passed down from one generation to the next, knitted blankets act as a loving hug from someone who lives far away or is no longer around. With the amount of time and effort put into this blanket, receiving such a gift would be very special. The detailed cable work is sure to keep you on your toes and give you the unparalleled satisfaction of completing a project of this size. Yeah, it's a big project. Like, it's one of these projects I'd be doing over a year. Yeah. Nice work. Again though, I'd probably be using a variegated yarn because I like to see a little bit of the details that I've spent so much time working on. Alright, this is Shetland and Scandinavia Hat. There's also a scarf, but let's look at the excerpt. Inspired by the detailed colour work of many Scandinavian knits, this pattern was created to expand your colour work skills as well as pay tribute to the traditional techniques used, such as the brim folded inside the hat in order to display as much colourwork detail as possible. Use this hat as a swatch tester for the much larger scarf to come. Yeah, there's a scarf coming. So that's a beanie there. I like the cream and the, you know, the top contrast. It's not so in your face, but I'd still be tempted to do electric blue and white like the Flowers of Scandinavia headband before. Oh, I better start getting quicker. And there is a scarf. Sheltered in Scandinavia's scarf. I'll read the excerpt. Oh, I don't know, we might have to do a second part on this. The Scandinavian scarf requires time, but as a knitter knows, with the countless days and the care put into a piece like this, the end result is something you certainly will cherish forever. Often used in traditional Scandinavian colourwork, this pattern includes the northern flowers, leaves and branches, as well as twinkling stars as you commonly find in Scandinavian knitting. I don't want to rush through this book, so I am most likely going to have to do a part 2 because the battery is going to cut and we've still got a little bit in here. That is a beautiful set though. I think I've only got two patterns, so I'm trying to flick through without actually showing. I just need to put my camera. Pages are getting stuck and we're towards the end of the book, so okay, so I'll try and, there's a hugged in honeycomb shawl. The honeycomb stitch is a well-known detail in Celtic knitting. Traditionally, it was an incredible compliment to receive a knitted piece that included the honeycomb stitch, since it symbolises a hard-working honeybee without whom the world would be lost. Adorned with honeycomb cables and twists, this piece will be an extra special gift or to keep for yourself for all the hard work you've put in. It is beautiful. Oh, okay. Come on, camera. Last pattern. There's a jumper. Hang on. Here it is. Alright, stories in stitch. Stitches Aran jumper. Cabled Aran jumpers began at the west coast of Ireland and have become the one ultimate symbol of clan heritage. Many believe each clan had a specific pattern that was unique to them, which was passed down through the generations. This pattern has been designed with minimal shaping and basic seaming,